Hi everyone and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use the tool FlipGrid to support your students if you're doing virtual teaching, a blend of the normal in-person teaching and virtual, or just in-person teaching. So FlipGrid is an amazing tool. If you've ever attended an EPD with me before, you've probably heard me talk about it because I like it a lot. And it's one of those key tools that could be a really helpful core piece to integrate just into your teaching practice in general. And what it is it's a video response tool. So you post questions called topics for your students and they answer them using video, audio, and you can also include text, websites, anything from your Google Drive to supplement the video prompt that the students are going to create. And it's also free, which is amazing. It used to have a period of time there a few years ago where it wasn't free, but now it's free for everyone. Forever is their motto. So to get started with FlipGrid, you will go to flipgrid.com and create your educator account. You can create that by signing in with Google. And once you're there, it does look a little bit different. If you are familiar somewhat with FlipGrid, it's been updating over time. And there's just a few key vocabulary terms to know. So to get started with your students, you would click discussion. And the other key things to know here are topics and groups. If you plan to use this with your students pretty extensively, I would recommend using groups to organize your flow of things. Group, like the name implies, is a way of organizing your students in one space. It used to be called grids if you were a FlipGrid user in the past, and the interface looks a little bit different. So with groups, you can name them after a class period, or if you teach all the same students every day, you can just name it maybe for the school year. I personally, when I was in the classroom, I like to make a grid for every single one of my class periods so that I knew whenever I was going into that group, I keep calling it grid, whenever I go into that group, I would only see students from my fourth period class in there because it was the fourth period group. And I knew that I was assessing those students there, and it just helped me streamline my organization. So the helpful thing to get started is to create a group and make sure you make it private. Public grids are only available for those who are 18 and older. So do not use this with classroom use, and it even gives you a warning there. This is really good for maybe if you're a principal and you want to use this with your teachers for PD, but do not use this with students because it goes against COPA, SIPA, FERPA privacy laws. So you would give your grid a name. So I'm going to name this one first period history. It gives you a code here, and you can change that whatever you want. And this is the code that your students are going to answer, but it also makes a unique URL there as well. So this is how students can join your group and be a part of your FlipGrid class. The thing here, the most streamlined way to do this, don't have them use a username because then they have to remember that username and password, and sometimes that's a little difficult. Click student email. And what that does is each time students go to answer a question on your FlipGrid or respond or do anything on here, they are signing in with their BCSC Google account. They don't have to remember a username and password with that. They just click the Google button, and as long as they're signed in already with their Google account, they should be good to go. So I'll click student email and click next. From here, it looks like you have to do a lot, but you really don't. What you need to do is type in our school's Google domain for students and then our Google domain for staff, which is a fancy way of saying you need to type in at students with the S .bcsc.k12.in.us and click enter. And then you need to add the staff one so that maybe if you have co-teachers or any other teachers that you work with, they can join as well. So at bcsc.k12.in.us. All right. You don't have to type in all of your students' names. That will take a long time, especially if you're a secondary teacher. All you have to do is type in these two pieces and then click next. If you wanted to set this up to where parents could participate, you can. They'll just be prompted with a passcode they have to enter, and you can create that so that they can participate and see their students' videos and make it more interactive, but you won't get any strangers on the internet because it's very locked down with the password. So I would click next. All right. And right now it's prompting me. If you're a first-time user, you won't see this. I have a lot of FlipGrid topics that I've made on here before. I'm just going to click skip for now. But I would copy this, and this is what I would share with my students to have them join. So you have a link here. You can send that out and remind. You can embed it under your It's Learning course, and you can even share this QR code on your It's Learning course as well. From there, I'll click Go to Group. All right. Other settings here, if I wanted to add my co-teacher, that's what this Add Copilot is, and they have the ability to create discussion questions and basically have teacher roles in this as well. So here we go. Now it's going to guide me through how I can make a discussion for my students to answer. And that is called a topic. Topic is an assignment. It's the discussion prompt that your students are talking about and answering. What I would do is click Add a Topic. Right? So maybe this one is, hey, hello. And what's nice is the first time you use FlipGrid, it's helpful if you do like a low stakes or no stakes type of activity where maybe they're just answering a silly question just so they can get familiar with the tool and the platform. So here is where I would type in the questions I want my students to answer. Add links here if I want from any website. I have limited characters there, so that's why it's helpful to add a link if you want them to have more. I can set the recording time here. It's up to 10 minutes. I don't think they probably need that much time, so I'll do 3. It adds closed captions. By default, it's set to what country you are in, so that gives your students the option for a more accessible experience there. You can turn on topic moderation, and what that does is it basically hides student videos from other students until you have approved it to where they can see it. So if you have students that don't want others to watch their video, you can turn this on and then only allow students to view each other's videos that want their videos to be seen by others. So you have some control over that here. This is a really helpful step here where you can add media to go along with your text discussion question the students are answering. So you can record a video right in FlipGrid right now. I can't do that without a tutorial showing you this on a demo because my camera is being used by Screencastify to record this. But I could record a video right here so my students could see me saying, this is what you're going to discuss, and here's some expectations for that. You can also add in YouTube videos. Maybe they respond to a question related to the video. You can add pictures, emojis, some fun GIFs. There's articles you can link here from Newsella, Google, Wonderopolis, all of those different integration pieces. All right. And once you're finished, you can also click more options, and it just gives you a few other controls here that I'll point out. You can add other topics. You can download and upload something from your computer right here. Maybe it's a Microsoft Word file, or maybe it's something from your Google Drive. And here is where you have some controls over the status of this. So as soon as you click Create Topic at the bottom, it's active for your students to start participating in. If you want it to be frozen, that means students can see this discussion question, but they can't post a video response yet. If I do hidden, then no one can see it except me, the teacher, and no one can participate. You can also set a deadline here as well, when it opens and when it closes. Right? These are just, again, some more features. You can get notifications if someone responds to it. I usually turn that off because I don't want an email every single time a student would post this, because I used to have 100 plus students. And here's just some fun little features that students have. So students have the ability to add little fun selfie pictures that go as like the frame for their picture in their video, and they can add in emojis and just some fun filter effects. I usually let those on because students had a lot of fun with that. You can turn this on to where students mess up, they can edit their video. They can add attachments if you want them to be able to. Maybe it's a text response that supplements their video explanation, likes, the number of views it has. I usually turn that off because I don't really think students need to see that. And then sticky notes, so they can add a Post-it note while they're recording. So it's maybe a cue to help them remember what to say. And then feedback options here. Basic, it just allows you to give them feedback on their ideas and their performance. Custom allows you to create your own fancy rubric if you want to. Whenever I'm finished, I would click Create Topic. And then if I wanted my students to be able to participate in this discussion, and just this discussion, take them directly there and bypass our class group, I could share this link. Otherwise, they could technically get to this discussion if they've already joined this first period history group on FlipGrid. All right, so now I'm just going to show you what this looks like if your students are going to participate in this FlipGrid. So what they will do is they'll go to that link that you provided, and then they'll click Join with Google and log in from there. And then what you can do is what the students will do to respond is they can click this red button here that says record a response or this one here. And I will say this is very friendly on mobile devices, iPads, really any device that your students might be using, Chromebooks, Windows laptops, cell phones, whatever device they're using, it works really well. It was designed that way to be functional on multiple platforms. So if I click record a response, probably not liking this right now because I have another video going, but I would just click the red record button. I have options here where I could upload a video if I wanted to. I could mute myself if I needed to, record my screen and make a little screencast. You have some flexible options. And there's there's effects and filters here as well if I wanted to make this look a little bit fancier for my teacher. So if I add sticky notes, these are just little reminders to me that only I see, not my teacher. When I go to make my video, so I have some reminders there. And whenever I click record, I can start talking. I see my topic here that I'm responding to, this little button. And whenever I'm finished, I would click pause and then next. Here is where I can edit. And then I can click next. And then I can take a selfie. Add some fun emojis and stickers there, click confirm. And then I can add my name, add other features if I wanted to, and submit it, and now my teacher has it. And whenever the teacher needs to see the responses, again, I can go to my teacher dashboard here, click discussion, FlipGrid is there, and I have a response that I can view and give feedback to. So that is a really quick crash course on how you can use FlipGrid. If you have more ideas or have questions about it, let me know, and I hope you have fun.